My name is Salote, and our topic for today is mindfulness with Angelina. So, Angelina, feel free to take it away.
Sweet, thank you so much. So it's good to be with you guys again. Last week, we spoke about the limbic system, basically what we cover in mindfulness, and knowing that the limbic system is activated throughout the whole day, and it works from the bottom up. That fight, flight, and freeze, that alarm center, and emotional center, and then the prefrontal cortex. And so with mindfulness, when we're practicing, we're actually, and throughout the whole day, we're actually trying to focus and complete things from top down, but knowing that activation is there to keep us safe. So with mindfulness, you guys, again, we're going from top down. Last week, we ended off with a definition, a term called neuroplasticity. And that neuroplasticity, you guys, we're going to put those definitions up on the webinar here. Dive into it. I have some kind of notes that we're going to put on there. Neuroplasticity is actually the functioning. We could change our brains. We could thicken our gray matter in our brain. We can strengthen our focus, our emotional intelligence, our strength all around. And so with that definition as well comes resilience. We are already resilient human beings, especially as kids. We know how to, we know how to cry when we need to let things go. And then as adults, we kind of stiffen up a little bit, but we stay resilient. And one thing is like our skin, right? Like if we get cut, our skin will naturally just heal itself. And we give it a little air, blow on it, it'll heal a little faster. And so we're resilient human beings. But with mindfulness, we're actually becoming aware of that resilience, and we're actually aware of the strength. So we begin to focus on things to strengthen that resilience and to strengthen the neuroplasticity. So last week I talked a lot, and this week we're going to go straight into a practice. So wherever you are, if you do have headphones, be nice to plug them in. There's never any like complete silence ever, especially where we live in the Bay Area. So there's going to be noises outside of your room, or TV's turned on. I hear my niece and my mom, my dog. But we're going to kind of tune in to ourselves and our breath, knowing that silence within us. And the more and more we practice this, the more and more it becomes just kind of tangible, no matter where we're at. There could be noise everywhere, but we're still focused and aligned, and sometimes even really, really calm when things are like just really crazy around us. And we know how family could get. So my dog too alone, her just hostile bark kind of makes me jump, but like no matter what, kind of staying calm within ourselves. So if we do have earphones in, plug them in, just so, in the beginning of this, it's like the person at the gym who like is training. Mindfulness is a training. We don't just naturally get it. So it's that person who does yoga, a person who exercises or walks. This is the same kind of practice, over and over, daily if we can, 5 to 20 minutes. So find a comfortable spot, you guys, wherever it is. If you need to lay down, go ahead and lay down. Last time I stood up, but this time we're going to go into a full practice. I'm going to guide us through noticing the breath. I'm going to guide us through noticing the body, noticing our thoughts, and coming back into our environment. So wherever you're at, you can find a focused spot. Sometimes we could find one point and we could keep our eyes open and continuously blinking the whole time we do this. But what I like to do as well, once we get our eyes comfortable, is to close your eyes. And so we're going to kind of find a stance. And I want you guys to imagine, if you guys know the Bay Area and some of the mountains that are in the Bay Area, and these mountains are very, very strong mountains that go through many different weathers, just like our emotions. These mountains go through rain, storms, floods, sunny days. They stand strong. And so we, as a human, we go through many emotions and we still stand strong. So with mindfulness, we're going to get to know ourselves in depth a little more, notice our emotions so we can take care of them throughout our whole lives. And so you guys, with I like to sit kind of not cutting off the circulation of the legs. So if you are crisscross, that's fine if you can stand it. My leg goes numb after a while. But go ahead and keep the feet flat on the floor. Your spine is nice and tall like a mountain pose. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and check the time here. Go ahead and gently close your eyes. And let's take 3 slow breaths together. So breathing in and out, breathing in and out. More nice slow breath, breathing in and out. And now as you breathe in and out, see if you could notice maybe the air brushing up against your nostrils as you breathe in and out. Maybe you could feel your chest and your shoulders going up and down. And slowly bringing your mind's eye to the belly and relaxing the belly fully. Maybe you can feel the belly expand like a balloon as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, noticing the belly deflate like a balloon. So for the next few moments, just bringing the attention to the breath. Noticing how the breath feels. And now shifting our attention away from the breath to sounds. Maybe when you take a slow, deep breath in, you could even hear the sound of your own breath as you breathe in. And see if you can bring your attention to all sounds. Sounds in front of you, to the left of you, behind you, to the right. Maybe even sounds coming from downstairs or upstairs or outside of your room. Maybe even outside. Try not to like a sound or dislike a sound. Just allow all different sounds to enter your ear, second after second after seconds. Now shifting our awareness away from sound to the body. And as you sit here, maybe noticing areas in your body that you may be holding tight. Maybe the leg muscles, the belly, the shoulders, the jaw, space between the eyebrows. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, see if you can allow those areas just to weigh into the chair or relax into the ground or your bed if you're laying down. We're going to slowly do a body scan. See if you can slowly and gently bring your attention to the feet. Maybe you could feel your shoes wrapped around your feet, your socks, or the air in the room. Maybe notice in the very bottom of your feet and the contact you have with the ground. Maybe you can feel your feet tingling or pulsing. Try not to like or dislike the feelings you have. Just notice what they feel like right now. Maybe your feet are cold, hot, sweaty. Just note it. And we'll move on to the ankles, from the ankles to the knees. Notice in both left and the right, our calves and our shins. And from our knees to our hips. Maybe noticing the contact our pants have with our skin, our shorts. Breathing in past the belly all the way to the thighs and relaxing all the way to the bone. And tracing up to our seat bones and our groin area. And as we breathe in and out, just relaxing those areas fully. And going up to our belly and our lower back at the same time. And breathing in and relaxing those areas as we breathe out. And slowly tracing up to the middle of our back, to the top, our shoulder blades. And as we breathe in and out, relaxing the shoulder blades. And slowly bringing our attention to the heart center. Maybe you could feel your shirt touching your chest. Maybe you can even feel your heart beating. And we're going to slowly bring our attention to our hands, the very palm of the hands. Maybe you notice if our fingers and our palms are warm, sweaty, cold. Noticing all the fingers from the thumbs all the way to the pinky on both the left and the right hand. And going from our wrists, slowly tracing up the forearms, both the left and the right forearm. And from our elbows to our shoulders, noticing our bicep, both the left and the right. And as we breathe in and out, relaxing those shoulders, relaxing the arms. Slowly bringing our attention to the neck. Our neck is a big reservoir for stress. Sometimes we can breathe in through the neck, allowing air, space. And as we breathe out, relaxing the neck. Just noticing how the neck sits above the shoulders, nice and tall. And bringing our attention to the face. And as you breathe in and out, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the mouth, our tongue, even the gums. And slowly bringing our attention to the cheeks, relaxing the cheekbones. We make a lot of expressions throughout the people. So for now, just relaxing the face, relaxing the cheeks. And as we breathe in and out, slowly tracing up to our eyes. And as we breathe out, relaxing the eye muscles with every breath. Breathing into the eyes, and breathing out, relaxing the eyes. Slowly tracing up to the space between the eyebrows and the forehead, both the left and the right side of the forehead. Just bringing our attention there. Sometimes we could feel it pulsing. And just noticing that area as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And slowly bringing our attention to the very crown of the head. And I want you to imagine there's a string going from that soft spot all the way up to the sky, allowing our posture to stay nice and tall, nice and alert. And then bringing our attention to the back of the skull and our ears, relaxing the ears. And as we breathe in and out, just taking a note of the full body from the head all the way down to the toes, both the left side and the right side of the body. And now slowly shifting our attention away from the body to the mind. And for a few moments here, we're going to notice our brain's activity. So I want you to imagine all the thoughts are like clouds. Clouds are constantly shifting, moving, just like our thoughts. They never stay in one spot, they move to the next. Maybe you're thinking of a future thought or a past thought. See if you can name it. Past thought or future thought. And slowly and gently bring your attention back to how your breath feels, back to sound, or back to the body. We could entertain our movie clip now or later. See if you could slowly and gently bring your attention to now, the feeling of the breath, sounds, or the body. Now, slowly and gently bringing the attention to 3 slow breaths before we complete our practice for the day. So, breathing in and out, breathing in and out, breathing in and breathing out. And just slowly opening the eyes, kind of noticing the full body from feet all the way to the top of the crown, noticing the sounds, noticing our environment. So you guys, wow, that was good. It's different for me to like know that I'm not fully in it, so I could feel my eye muscles like having to think. um, but you guys, this focused attention, this focused awareness, repetitive over and over, is that resilience in action without just it happening. Knowing that our thoughts are always going to be there, no matter if we're focused on it or not. It's our subconscious. These emotions are always going to be with us, and our emotions are like those clouds, in those thought processes. Sometimes those clouds are really light, like mist. Sometimes they could be really heavy, like a storm. And noticing when a storm happens, we need to shed some tears and maybe call a friend, talk it out, and so with this, with this practice, you guys, comes that resilience, and I want you to look up that term as well. There's a few books that I put up there. I love the Buddha's Brain because I got to understand it. It's like it's neuroscience that's really like in easy, simplified words for me that I can understand. And then there's Bouncing Back by Linda Graham, amazing woman. That it gets a little more technical, to bust out that dictionary, but it really helps you understand yourself, which like I was never taught. I'm sure we don't learn it until we get to college. So, like let this be a guide even after college, And then there's one more called Silence by Thich Nhat Hanh, and that's just a really nice, easeful read. It talks about the radio of nonstop thinking, which I love that because our mind is constantly going throughout the whole day. But how to bring down like seconds of the breath throughout the day. So thank you guys. Um, thank you. And I'll see you in a couple of months, I believe. Um, so take it easy, guys.
Thank you, Angelina. So
No problem.
I'm going to give everyone about maybe a minute. If you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat box. And then we can address them before the end of our webinar. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, and we'll address them anonymously.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the practice. Sometimes it's hard to get in, so nice. I appreciate you guys. I hear that. I had a stressful day myself, so that was nice. And remember, you guys, what I do here is basically bringing our attention and our focus over and over. And sometimes, even for myself, I need the guidance. So I have people that I listen to. My main number one dude, I call my dude, is John Kabat-Zinn. So you can look him up on YouTube. Yeah, thank you guys.
All
And
right,
once you,
so
sorry, real quick, once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to do it on your own, like no problem. But it's that practice, you know. All right.
all right, so it looks like there are no questions. So thank you again, Angelina.
No
Just
problem.
a reminder for everyone that Angelina will have another mindfulness webinar in May.
Sweet. See you guys in May.
All right, so thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
You too. Peace.